Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This one might be a little interesting because I've yet to see really any kind of review on GT350 McLeod RTX clutch. So my car needed a clutch. I went with the McLeod RTX over, say, the Vengeance Stage 2. And I just wanted to share my first impressions. I got the car back last night. I've been driving it, trying to drive it for the break-in period of 500 miles. So first thing to keep in mind is they tell you there's a 500-mile break-in period where, at least what I was told, is keep traction control completely off. Try to stay below 4,000 RPMs, no wide open throttle, and try to have smooth engagements. So I've been trying to follow that. They say not to do highway miles. That doesn't really count. They want you to do city miles, stop and go traffic, and I guess that's so the clutch can break in, wear correctly against the flywheel. So first thing I noticed immediately as I sat in the driver's seat is the clutch pedal is heavier. I was told that it was very much like stock. I feel like it's heavier than when I had my 2001 and 1998 Mustang V6 cable clutch. It's heavier than that. And that's like immediate. You notice that immediately as you first press the clutch. It is definitely heavier. It is not like stock. Stock was very light. I do prefer it a little bit better, heavier, but everyone's a little different. My leg, I can feel it already. It's not crazy, but it definitely is heavier. Now, once I turned on the car, the next thing I noticed was getting into gear felt like, one, it required a lot more force, a lot more energy to get into gear. It did feel smoother of an engagement compared to what I last remember stock being. And then once it's in gear and you start letting off of the clutch, something I experienced and I was warned was it chatters, judders like crazy. I'm still trying to find that sweet spot. It is tough. I'm not the greatest, to be honest. I'm not the greatest manual driver. I feel like I get better every single day. But that being said, you know, it's really difficult to drive when the car, you know, is shaking as you're trying to find that bite point. And right now I'm playing with trying to see how to get a smooth engagement or the smoothest engagement. I don't feel like it's always consistent. I feel like what works at one time doesn't on the other. I've also been told to rev it up to 1500, 1300 RPM to 1500 RPM and let off slowly. I feel like I'm just not used to that. Usually I let off like right around 1000, 1100. It feels wrong. And it doesn't really feel like it improves at all. So I'm still playing around with that. It's really hard, especially in Los Angeles traffic. You really have to find an open parking lot, and in Los Angeles there's no such thing really, unless it's like abandoned, and we don't really have that around here. So trying to do that in the streets, trying to practice like your bite point and how much RPMs to give, it's a pain. So I'm working on it. I will definitely do a follow-up video once I get it right, so I can make, you know, I think at that point it'll be 500 miles. But right now it's been a challenge. Something else is once it's at speed, you definitely notice the aluminum flywheel. It is a lot easier to rev up. When I spoke to other people, some people said they didn't notice it. I definitely do. Downshift rev match feels a lot easier. It just feels, once the car is driving and you're rolling through gears, it feels really good. Again, my only complaint is getting out of first without chattering like crazy. Hopefully, from what I've heard, and it's been different depending on who you talk to, it gets better. Like the chatter, the noise goes away, but also the whole car shaking back and forth gets better. So I'm really eager to get to that point, because is it enjoyable right now? Once you're at speed, yes. Otherwise, it's not. Like, yeah, it's been rough. Something that somebody told me, which made me go with the McLeod over the Vengeance clutch, is that the McLeod is a lot lighter of a clutch than the Vengeance, but the Vengeance is a more streetable, versus the McLeod tends to be more of, I guess, just a hardcore clutch. At speed, like I said, it's great. I don't have an experience with the Vengeance clutch, but I think it feels tighter at speed than the stock one did ever. The stock one, even I remember picking it up from the dealership with the new stock, you know, service department, stock installed, brand new, and it didn't judder like this at all. I guess that's just the nature of the ceramic clutches, but I'm really excited to get to the 500 mile and onward to see how that feels. So right now I've done about 40 miles in the city, and around traffic time, especially right now because of bumper to bumper, you know, city drivers and crap like that, it gets annoying pretty quickly, and patience is so thin. So yeah, maybe later I can jump back into the driver's seat and keep learning and getting acclimated to the new clutch. I was told that the McLeod clutch does take time to acclimate yourself, so that's where I'm at right now. But yeah, it's definitely been an experience. Something else that I noticed, but I think it's just when you first get a clutch, the throw, the original like a clutch throw, the pedal, didn't feel like it was as long as stock. But now that I've driven it, it feels like the throw is as long or just a tad shorter than stock. So I don't know, it might just be me overthinking things, but that's something I felt like I noticed. But outside of that, so far the experience has been different. But yeah, those are some of my initial assessments with living with the new McLeod clutch. And something really weird is nobody really does any videos of how it feels like to drive the new McLeod clutch on a GT350. It was pretty rare on a GT in general, but like I mentioned, just the chatter, the judder is my biggest complaint in first and reverse. Once you're rolling through gears, it's great. The clutch is heavier, maybe a slightly shorter throw, and then the shifts feel more crisp. Yeah, those are some of my assessments. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as time goes on, but that's pretty much what I've experienced so far.